So I'm going to be talking about Cannabis for Chronic Pain by Dr. Ravi Ivkar. And my seat isn't too wet.
Good.
Which is surprising. It's, I wouldn't recommend the book. I thought it would be great because it's thick. But it's actually not, there's not very much information about cannabis for chronic pain in there. It's, I'll just read my notes. He got a DO degree from Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. Page 11, 2016, veterans can have medical marijuana. Page 13, December 2016, you can look at procon.org. Amount of marijuana possession limit varies from state to state. In Massachusetts, 60-day supply, 10 ounces. In Oregon, 24 ounce usable. 24 plants, 6 mature, 18 immature. In Alaska, 1 ounce usable. 6 plants, 3 mature, 3 immature. So it varies. If you're in the United States, you have to look that up if you're wanting to pack around some marijuana for use or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I stopped finding this book worthy of writing notes at that point. Well, maybe a little later, but anyway, it's too generalized. There's information about diet to avoid inflammation, yeast infections, etc. So most of the book is actually not about cannabis for chronic pain. It's about integrating cannabis into your chronic pain management. So most of it's about other things. So, for example, 136, he thinks a vegan diet is best, but fish and high DHA eggs are good. There are too many topics touched on in this book, like why the yoga poses. I don't need that when I'm looking at a book. If I pick this book up, it's because I'm looking to find out more about cannabis for chronic pain. This is what it's right on the title.
I might be impressed if it shows a person like with a doobie between their toes.
Yes, while they're doing the yoga pose. Maybe that would make sense.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I want information about yoga poses, I will look for a book that has that in the title or whatever, you know. 166, he says to avoid sauerkraut and avocados and citrus fruit, etc. to relieve headaches. 252, for anxiety without pain, use high CBD with little no THC, but some THC is required for pain relief. So if you also have pain, well, you're going to need that. Causes of anxiety, fear, chronic pain, illness / inflammation, excess caffeine, excess sugar, chocolate, excess highly acidic foods such as tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, stimulants, hyperthyroidism, adrenalism, hypoglycemia, nutritional deficiencies of B vitamins and magnesium, history of trauma, abnormal levels of stress hormones and or neurotransmitters. So there can be a lot of causes of anxiety. And if you're looking to relieve your anxiety with marijuana, then you would use high CBD with little or no THC. Then if your anxiety though is caused by chronic pain and you're having a lot of illness or a lot of pain due to inflammation, well, you have to get rid of your inflammation first. So then you can figure out, well, how much of my anxiety is caused by these other things, which you obviously should be avoiding before you pull out the marijuana, right? I mean, if you have anxiety and you start using the high CBD with no THC and you find, whoa, well, I still have all this pain. Well, what's your pain caused by, right? So this book is actually useful for that, to show you, okay, well, you're going to have to manage those other things before you possibly can treat with the marijuana, right? So, but at the same time, this gives a very it gives very little information on any one particular thing. So if you read this and then you were like, oh geesh, well, I have anxiety, but yeah, I'm eating tomatoes and eggplants and peppers, and yeah, I'm loading up on the sugar and chocolate and all this other stuff, right? Then you're gonna have to figure out, okay, well, what's my anxiety caused by? Is it a history of trauma? Maybe. Is it all of those things? Maybe. I don't know, right? So you got to figure it out, and then maybe aim target after that. I know I was able to get rid of a lot of my pain by reducing the amount of inflammatory foods in my diet, and that caused a lot of my pain to go away. So not all of it, but then, I mean, you're left with a certain level and you go, well, can I live with this, or do I need to be toking up? Honestly. So that's all I really wanted to, oh, I have a few things. Diet for treating anxiety, complex carb. So this bread, actually, I forgot to bring out the bag, but I'll show you later. It's the best bread that I've come across. It's vegan, organic. It's a good bread.
It tastes good.
So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to, when you're doing complex carbs, which you're eating whole food, whole grains, it doesn't necessarily have to be a lot of work. Sometimes you can find a decent bread. Vegetables, seaweed, L-tryptophan foods such as sunflower seeds, bananas, milk, unless you're sensitive to milk. If you've done an elimination diet and you found out, oh, yeah, milk's one of my things, well, it's gotta go. Caffeine, chocolate, alcohol, sugar, and highly acidic foods should be avoided. So you should be eating the complex carbs, vegetables, seaweed, L-tryptophan foods, but not the caffeine, chocolate, alcohol, sugar, and highly acidic foods. So
I don't know. That's an unimpressively short list for both, especially for what's good stuff.
Yeah. So. But vegetables, seaweed.
Well, okay, veggies.
Yeah. Anyway.
Except for tomatoes.
It is yeah, for both it's very, but that's what I'm saying about this book. It's too brief about any one thing. There's too much about everything in there. Maybe besides cannabis for chronic pain. There's not a whole lot about that in there. But, so yeah, I'd say it's not worth reading. And some of the pages were stuck together. I don't know why. I didn't try to pull them apart because it's not my book. Cannabis so I just tried to read in between the stuck pages as much as I could. Okay. And it'll be going back to Staveley Public Library.
That's a swinging place
there. With the pages stuck together because I can't pull them apart. I don't want to wreck the book because it's not mine. No. And
but thank you, Staveley.
Thank you.
Staveley is a very small place.
Yes.
There's no way Lethbridge should have to be getting stuff from Staveley.
So anyway, that's all I had to say about that.